Thank you very much for coming by my channel and this video. This is the FlossTube update for what my projects are for June of 2025. And I'm going to talk about WhipGo, the June projects that I've worked on, plus a couple other things, and whatever is going to be coming up for July. And we'll just get into it and you'll see what I'm up to. I am trying to get the Little Star project done. It's from this book. I think I've shown this to you all before. It looks like, you can kind of see what it looks like now. Just a second, let me find the baby page. Here we are. Oh, here. Can you see that okay? I'm pretty close though, so you'll get the idea. I was working, hoop marks, trying to get the blue half stitches work down. I got most of the star done. He has a face with the back stitching. And I went around the back stitch here too. So it's getting there. I'm going to work on it more next month too, and hopefully give it to my friend at the end of July when her grandbaby is born. I worked on the Santa and Mrs. Claus project a bit. It's not WhipGo this time, but it is on my board. It's just big and I wanted to get more work done on it. I'm going to show you what it kind of looks like. That's how it will appear. And for some reason, my editing program doesn't seem to want to do photo overlays all that well anymore. I don't know why. So I'm just going to stop here and I'll put the photo in for a few seconds so that you see it, and then I'll show you where I'm at, okay? Okay, here's where I'm at. There's not much. Mrs. Claus kind of has a sleeve though. There's going to be loads of backstitch on this too, by the way, which I'll get to as I go. I'm not leaving all that to the end. Forget it. The green is part of Santa's scarf. But this purple and yellow, that's all her sleeve of her dress. Coming along. This is a piece of Lugana. I think it's 28 count. And most likely it's antique white. I just can't remember. For people that like that kind of stuff. I don't know what the dogs are barking about. We'll carry on. That was Henry barking at people across the street. Apparently that's not allowed. I was working on the Angel project. I'll try and show you. It's kind of awkward, but that's what January is going to look like. I don't know if you guys can see that okay. I'm guessing where I'm aiming at here. I'm carrying on mostly with January because I have pretty much all the threads. There's a blending filament I'm missing for July. So she'll get done later. So that's what July looks like. Or will look like, I should say. Now, again, with the whole, I don't know, overlay, whatnot, I'm just going to shut this down and show you the previous photo for a few seconds, and then I will show you what I have done lately. Yes, this is going to mean more editing on my part, but oh well. I want you guys to be able to see stuff and not have the photo look crazy. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, that's where I'm at now. I was working on here. So everything on the top of her head is done. That's beads and cryonic blending filament. I forget what the color was. Just ask me and I'll put it in the comments if you want. And I did a bunch of wing. So if I'm not able to get the blending filament for July before I want to work on this again, I'll just keep going down on the wing. And I worked some of her hair down too, so there's a whole bunch more hair left to go. So I'll just keep working down that part. So there's the dates I worked on my WhipGo in June. Number 23 was those string blocks. I did work on it for a couple of days. And number 21 was the Favorite Brew, the Halloween project. I took it camping, worked on it a couple of days while I was gone, and a little bit when I got back. Alrighty, let's update the board. So, favorite brew. That's the flask with the books. It's a Halloweeny thing, flask of potion. That was number 21 for June, so we'll cross it off. And I got a WIPGO, yay! And the other one is the string block quilts. I'll show you both of these projects in a moment. So there's that one, almost there too. Now, for July, I just checked the calls, and they are, let me get my pen going here, number 2, Santa and Mrs. Claus, which I'm also doing as a stitch-along for July on Nicola, Simply a Stitcher's Facebook group. So it'll get its goal and carry on through the month. And number 16 is the other one, and that is Winter Queen again. And I will probably work on beads, because I still have not got that white Kreinik I want. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see in a few months. I'm not sure about that. It's kind of hard to get, I think. I have to update the board a little bit. The Water Lily project, I finished it, but 22 hasn't been called yet, so I'm going to swap it. I've got some of this adhesive from scrapbooking and a little piece of paper, so I'm just going to cover it up. Hold on one sec, I'm not stopping the camera. Come on. There we go. Sometimes the adhesive doesn't want to behave. It'll stick on there good enough for what I need it for, and I'm going to change it to those birthstone angels I'm doing. So 22 is going to be J and J angels, ready for whenever it gets called. There you go. Sorry about my hand being in the way, but I do have to write. Hope you can see that okay. The WIPGO call for space 23 is for these quilt blocks. I make these every once in a while, the same way I make the crumb blocks. Toward the end of May, I did have an upload of a camping quilt made with crumb blocks, so if you want to go check that out, you'll see what I mean. These are 7.5 inches, and I have a stack of 14 that are done. Most of these have the white as the same width, but not all, because I do vary it up. Doesn't really matter what you do, you can have them all the same if you like. The process, kind of a hot mess at the moment, but I use an 8-inch piece of old phone book, you can use old newsprint, you can use old scrapbooks, whatever you got, something that tears off easily. Draw a line, big fat Sharpie, corner to corner. That way you can actually see through on the other side. So therefore, if you can see a big fat line, it makes it easier to line up your white piece along the diagonal in the middle. I don't know if you can see it. You can faintly see the line right there. It's hard to tell, but it's easier when you can see it in person. And then once you have that tacked down, I put a bit of glue or something just to hold it, then you sew strips on either side until you fill it all out. To trim it, flip it back over and trim to the paper. I usually keep a stack of them with the paper on, and then every now and again I just do a tearing session and rip the paper off. Now this stack over here, there's 17 of those. So I'm going to just work through a few of them and get a few done and add to the finished stack. I keep a fairly continuous stash of strips, wider ones there, some skinnier ones in this box, and then smaller pieces in this box because sometimes you need a chunk to cover up that corner rather than a strip. So I just keep these full, and then when I want to work on those blocks, I just grab what I need. For the goal, for WIPGO, for making these blocks, I just decided to make 4. But because I had some already done, and some of them only really needed a piece on the corner, I made more. So I have 1, 2, 3 left here that just need to be trimmed to the paper. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that only need to have the paper peeled off the back. Now, this block is going to be another call for WIPGO at some point this year, so when that happens, I will finish up more to get them looking like this, and I will also trim these ones to get them looking like this, and probably make a few more besides. I likely won't bring you along for that, but I will show you the ones that I did as part of the WIPGO video for that month. Project 21 for WIPGO was the favorite brew project. I don't have a mock-up of it. I only have a picture of the chart, and I've been marking it up as I go with pencil, so I'm not going to show you. And I had barely any start on it, but I'll put a picture in, and then I will also insert the clip of me stitching on it when I was camping. And then I'll show you what it looks like now. Stitching in my daughter's tent trailer. Just a little bit on the Favorite Brew project. It looks like a flask, I guess. Quite a bit done on it. Kind of looks like something now, right? Yes, it's an Erlenmeyer flask. My son identified it. And there's supposed to be potion in it, that orange. And then this is vapor. But also up in here is 2 different colors of number 4 Kreinik braid that also becomes vapor. I just haven't got them yet. And this is the start of one of the books that the flask is sitting on. You will notice that I changed out the green from the footage that when I was in the trailer. The other green called for in the pattern was 3819, and I thought it was too light, so I switched it to 907, and I think that looks better. You'll be able to see that better once I get more on it, and you can tell that what the book looks like. Whoops! But there it is. Pretty good progress. The July Whip Go Call, number 16, is Winter Queen again. I've got her on a book for support, so hang on. That's what she looks like right now. That's why I'm standing back here so you can see the whole thing. Most likely, I'm going to work on beads up in her sleeve. Unless I can get the number 4 white Kreinik, which I will investigate and we'll see how that goes. Because I have to fill it in where I picked out the whisper. But I'll explain that when I get to it. So, that is Her Majesty before we begin. I did have a finish this month. The water lily project I was doing, it's a little small one. Probably going to make it into a magnet. I got it done. The magnet making will come eventually. I have a photo from before, so I'll just stop this and put it up, because okay, here she is. It is. Try to come in close. Whoops! Sorry about the kind of crummy light. It's a cloudy day today, so I put the light on and I have the window open. Now, I'm never sure with this camera, so I'm just going to kind of come up near the viewer and hope you have a good look. This is not my phone, so I can't actually see what I'm filming, which is kind of weird, but I do the best I can. So, there we go. It's all done. I don't remember when I started this. 15 years ago, maybe? Not sure. Here is my new start, and here is a photo to show you what it will look like eventually when I get it done. Alright, here's my new start. Doesn't look like much. It's the end of the A and the first P in happy. This is the same water lily, I think it's Lugana. 32 count, I'm sure. It was a chunk I had from, I don't know when, ages ago. And that was what water lily was on. It's sort of a celery, muddy kind of green color. Not much, but